This month, Active Minds decided to focus on the book Darkness Visible by William Styron. This book is an autobiography about Styron's struggle with depression over the years. Its beginning, its progression over time, the darkest point in his life that eventually led to him being hospitalized, and how he eventually managed to come out on the other side. Active Minds thought that this would be a good book to read because many of us struggle with depression to some extent or another. Depression, also known as major depressive disorder, is a mental disorder often marked by multiple major depressive episodes, though someone can be diagnosed with this who is experiencing their first major depressive episode. A major depressive episode is a period of time, 2 weeks or longer, marked by sad or empty mood for most of the day, nearly every day. This sadness is usually intense, to the point that the person may have problems functioning in their everyday life. People experiencing a major depressive episode also lose pleasure in the things they used to enjoy, and may also experience severe changes in appetite, weight, and sleep. The most serious symptom of a major depressive episode is thoughts of death or suicide, or an actual suicide attempt. If you find yourself struggling with any of these symptoms, please reach out to someone. There is also persistent depressive disorder, which is a depressive disorder involving chronic feelings of depression for at least 2 years. People with persistent depressive disorder may not have all of these severe symptoms associated with major depression and instead have low-grade symptoms that persist throughout much of their life. A mixture of symptoms is often seen, including appetite and sleep changes, fatigue, low self-esteem, trouble concentrating or making decisions, and feelings of hopelessness. Persistent depressive disorder may also be marked by major depressive episodes. Depressive symptoms can also crop up during certain seasons, especially the autumn and winter months. This is known as seasonal depression, and we talked about it in another video. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, depression is one of the most common mental disorders in the US. In 2020, an estimated 21 million adults in the United States had at least one major depressive episode, which represents 8.4% of all US adults. The prevalence of adults with a major depressive episode was highest for individuals aged 18 to 25, and this high rate of depression among college-age individuals is one of the reasons why Active Minds decided to read this book during the month of February. Darkness Visible starts with Styron taking a trip to Paris with his wife in order to receive an award for his writing. This very prestigious award should have done much to boost his ego, but instead he found himself floundering further and further into a dark mood that he had only accepted that he was struggling with a few days before he left. Depression greatly impacted his ability to function during this trip, with the award ceremony completely draining him, feelings of fatigue and confusion plaguing him throughout his entire trip, and one afternoon spent completely immobile on his bed, unable to move a muscle. These are all common symptoms associated with depression. The rest of the short book is spent giving a broad overview of his struggle with depression over the following years. This book doesn't follow a chronological order. He hops around in time, listing events that left an impact on his memory as they seem relevant. His depressive symptoms worsened until it eventually culminated in his decision to end his life. This resulted in a long hospitalization that eventually got him through the worst of his depressive symptoms. The book ends on a message of hope. Styron ends the book by stating that though many have found depression impossible to fully encompass using science, art, literature, etc., many also bear witness to what is perhaps its only saving grace. It is conquerable. Though the struggle with depression is a long and difficult one, it is one that is doable and worth doing.